Will said something smart because he does that a lot.
Smart.
Smart. He came out of left field and he said like, well, what can a sport guy get from this? And I don't know, man. You're a sport guy. What can you get from this?
A lot easier way to do jiu-jitsu.
Okay. So like, all right, it's like between two fucking ferns, or the idea behind the concepts that I've shown you by default, by the way, like Will hated me when he first met me. I was like, this is just ridiculous crap. And then like, was it like a year later, you basically teach what I'm teaching you.
Yeah, well, I accidentally learned. That was the problem. Yeah. By being the uke, I was like, oh, mate.
Oh, fuck, of course. What? I don't have to invert. So yeah, you don't have to invert. Doesn't mean you can't. So that's a conversation, by the way. When I say this is what I do and this is how I thrive and how I do my thing, that's not you. You're a big boy or girl and you can make your own decisions. And I hope you do. Don't have somebody telling you what to do. I want you to go out there and I want you to take knowledge from every possible tree and make your own decision. So Will has taken the things that I've given him and he's created his own style because of it. And he is very adept, by the way. I like how the internet's like, well, that black girl needs to learn how to do a triangle. Like, he's fine. Trust me. But
Can do it.
Been around a while, he's fine.
No, I think it's you don't have to do more to achieve a submission. You can do less and achieve the same.
That sounds very efficient, Will.
But that's the whole point. And that's just something I never learned because when I started jiu-jitsu when I was a blue belt, I had to run up the Balmoral Hill, which is steep hill, so I can get super fit and athletic, so I could do all the rounds. Which is, I wish just someone told me that, hey, you can escape side control just by building an escape rank. You don't have to do all that.
To play devil's advocate, you should be running up those hills for another reason, right?
Oh, yeah.
I don't go to the gym at all for jiu-jitsu at all. I go to the gym because I go to the gym. I'm an adult, man.
But the argument I'm trying to make is that I was taught that to get better at jiu-jitsu, you have to become stronger and fitter and do more rounds.
It's more literal
sparring. So I'd only attend sparring lessons, sparring classes, because that's what the majority of them were, which is great if you want to learn trial by fire, but you're not actually learning anything, which, and and now I still look after myself and exercise, but I just don't have to do as much to win.
All right, so to wrap that up, because shut up, Will. To wrap that up, honestly, in the second book, when Peter McGuire was writing Hickson's second book, I was speaking to him and Hickson about he had a private student who's a competitor. He's a very well-known competitor, and to this day, I don't know who it is because I don't follow competition, and I still haven't read the book. I'm sorry. I will read it, I promise. The competitor went and did a private with Hickson, and he went into competition the next day and won using the strategies that Hickson handed to him. So this is not just for the street. Jiu-jitsu is like just self-defense. I will quote this until the day I die. If you don't know self-defense, you don't know jiu-jitsu. Because everything that I've shown Will is how to survive. And then everything off of that comes to thriving, right? If I am constantly berating him with attacks and sprinting up hills, eventually he's probably going to get me because the athlete will win. So that does bring into question the art of athletics and the sport itself. Like, not to go down too much of a rabbit hole, but if you added a point system to the sparring, whatever the fuck it is, if I can pick you up, that's 5 points. Doesn't matter. Like, and there's no slamming. Like, no, we start again from standing. Yeah, there's no slam. I just get an extra 5 points. Start to really think about the game and what the game was representing to begin with. So if I have to scramble around and oil myself up to try and achieve a submission for a bunch of money, well, that's your decision, not mine. I'm cool, man. I like my life.
Yeah, and buy the side control escape course because that's the best guard at the moment.
Oh, he's going to film an entire instructional on side control guard. He has my
bottom of side control guard.
This is Will's side control guard now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like just having two sides of the coin could be useful for whoever's watching. because I doubt a lot of sport guys will watch it.
Yeah.
But I think the concepts behind everything that I'm trying to share, they go both ways. You know, you should be able to see the way broadly, for the love of God.
Yeah.
You should be able to, God forbid, you can add these tactics to any other part of your life too. You know, finding balance and finding the middle, and not over or underdoing things can be a metaphor for your job. I don't care. For your cooking, like, don't put too much salt in the oxtail soup kind of thing. So when you're talking about the side control guard, which is hilarious,
Buy it.
patent pending, buy it. TM, Will's side control guard. You were telling me the other day that you had a contemporary that you were sparring with that used to be annoying to you. Like, tell them that.
Yeah, just a guy that I train with to help him get ready for competitions. I just let him start on on my side control, and just doing the hip escape frame, and the sweeps are just so easy, and it's not even getting your guard back; it's actually sweeping back on top of side control, and then I just roll over and let him start again on side control, and he's getting so frustrated because he's like, "Well, what are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm just building a frame here." He's like, "Okay, well, let me start with your shoulders flat on the floor." I was like, "You can start anywhere you want. It doesn't matter." But it's an easier way to do it because I don't have to bench press, push their face. I just have to literally get my arm free and build a frame, either towards them or away from them. And then there's your escapes. It's either this option doesn't work, this option will. This option doesn't work, this option will.
I remember when I first met Will, I was trying to explain doing things, and then I had a bit of a roll with the other guy that was with him. And he's like, "Yeah, were you conceding the position?" And then he would roll with me. I was like, "Yeah, but you're in a good position." I was like, "What position?"
No.
There's no spot where you're supposed to feel threatened.
No.
Like, you're fine. It doesn't matter where it is. As long as you can understand what your goal is from there, even when there's striking, you should feel comfortable. So I think this is the new Williams guard.
Well, it's such a mind fuck because you think that you're dominating because you're on top of side control. Whereas if you're on the bottom going, yeah, this is exactly where I want to be.
And you're basically telling every Hickson story ever, by the way,
Yeah.
where it's like such a mind fuck, dude. Like, you're on top of him, and yet he's in charge. It makes no sense to me. And like everybody, everyone listens when it's like some dude talking about it on Joe Rogan. But like, just pay closer attention. When you see someone diminishing Hickson and they've never met him, these concepts are important. They're very important. They need to be preserved. They need to be refined. They need to be shared. It doesn't just belong in the Gracie self-defense thing. Like, it belongs over to the sport as well. I think everyone can benefit from understanding what jiu-jitsu is, not the things that you can add to jiu-jitsu.
Just do the guard. Bottom of the side control guard.
Yeah.
PM.
Just
Have a shit ton of fun with it.
Just invert.
Just buy it.
Just invert. Just kill me. I hate my job so much.
Yeah,
but what if I do this?
It doesn't matter. Do anything. It's to the point now I'm like, you start anywhere you want.
But what if I did this? What if he has 20 friends and a bazooka?
Because I initially started like this, Chris, like from the wrestlers.
I like how we just faded into a natural conversation as well. It started like that.
Well, I was like this. Okay, then I stepped. He's like, okay, well, because I'm like, you're not
Yeah,
controlling.
but what if I did this?
Because I'm like, do you want me to tell you? Because you're not controlling the hit. So you. And I was like, okay, well, okay, I'll start like this then. Leave where do you want my arms? And I did this one thing, Chris. You know when you reach down here, like this, and then what I realized is if you move back, there's a lot of pressure on the shoulder as well.
When you move back, move with your bottom shoulder, lead your top shoulder forward. Pull your bottom shoulder out from underneath you and reach down to your toes. That's the hip is big.
So I was like, oh, fuck.
Pen pending.
TM. I can't wait to bring this into sports jiu-jitsu and take all the credit.
Go for it. I got you on film. I'm going to put this at my wedding.
Nathan, delete this.
Delete this, Nathan.
No, that was all recorded too.